Ron.
All right, here goes. Ryan Lytle made us be ready at exactly 3 o'clock.
He did.
3:01. It's his fault. It's his fault over
Ryan's
there.
fault. It is. He's here with us too. Look at Sergio. We see. Okay, you win your bet, Sergio.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Welcome to the Ramon Foster Show, live and on location.
On location here in Pittsburgh.
Max Starks was just here. We've had a bunch of people in all day, in and out of the place. It's pretty cool, huh?
It is pretty cool, man. My first time on this side of it as a player. I came for the Pitt game, of course, but now it's actually a Steelers game day. So let's go, DK.
It is Steelers game. It's Steelers versus Titans at 8:15 p.m. The Steelers happen to be favored in this game somehow. Maybe it's the effects of Heinz Field. Who knows, DK? But either way, you look at that favor, look at them being a favorite, and you just got to say to yourself, how? Because we got to figure out what this offense is going to look like. Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else we need to find out what it looks like, too.
Oh, this thing. Guess what? The official transfer has occurred. We recorded it earlier. There was a ceremony and everything that the Casey Kester Bell gets handed over to Ramon to take back to Nashville with him, so his rings don't sound nearly as pathetic.
It's pathetic?
Pathetic, I say.
Oh,
no.
Hey!
Oh, no.
I know. I tried. I should be better, DK.
When's the last time you got jeered like this in person by the whole place?
Maybe if I had him calling the shots as Glenn Thomas, maybe I'll be a little bit better, DK.
We all want Glenn Thomas calling the shots, as long as we're clear on that.
Yeah, we do. That is it's going to be fascinating because now is the real time for this team, DK, and prime time. Well, the world is watching who wants to watch football because baseball is over with as of last night. It's the only game on until this weekend. College football can't really compete with the NFL. You can't get embarrassed tonight.
No, you can't. And as a result, I think one of the things that you need to do more than anything else is to have some offensive competency coming right out of the bat. Moan, my thinking for a while, and I've been on the record about this, is that the offense, especially early, is not getting what it needs from the line. Now, that's not taking the pressure or the heat or whatever criticism off of Matt Canada or Kenny Pickett or Najee Harris or anybody else here, but nothing works unless these guys do the job.
Yeah. What's fascinating is about that is I've always kind of known that. The people I hang with, offensive linemen, have always known that.
Yep.
But we're just now seeing that be the case when it comes to how the masses view O-line, the job that they have to do.
Isn't that funny? That's modern.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's modern. And it's cool to talk about it, too, because you're right, DK. A lot that I will say comes down – a lot of success comes down to what they do up front. We speak about this all the time. Plays are called, and they're supposed to be successful because coaches are, I think, smart enough.
You think?
Offensive coordinators are smart enough, DK?
Somewhere.
So you said somewhere. Not here? You said it. If I hear the chant tonight, I'm going to point to DK, okay?
I'm not the one with those stats.
Okay. But the plays are called to be successful. And more times than not, if it lines up right, you'll get some action out of it.
Yeah.
And the other times that it's not successful, you're supposed to be able to will yourself into pushing people away. You're supposed to be able to move the line of scrimmage, as some coaches say, displace the other side. You get paid legally to beat up people. And that's what this group has to do, man. It's been a while. I see Francesco says it. Will the offense have 400 yards this week?
Well, it depends. If you count Sunday and Thursday.
It's
a trick question.
It's a fair question. The devil's in the detail always, Francesco, when you're dealing with DK. But the idea that you have to go fight City Hall sometimes has to be a reality. Meaning if they're stacking the box against you, meaning if you're in a position to where man, this ain't going to work, but I at least got to get 3, maybe 4 yards out of it. That starts with your bigs up front. Why do people always look at those championship teams and say, we'll name them, the Hogs, right?
Yeah,
Washington.
Yeah.
We'll look at what Dallas has done. Heck, the years that we were just really good on offense, who became an item? The O-line did. We've never
Yes.
seen that become an item, right?
No, just Washington. That was it.
It was it.
Just Washington.
And now the good teams have those guys. And I think there's a lot of talent there. But the will and drive to actually push people around is something that we got to get past. And if it doesn't happen tonight, I'm telling you this, and don't be surprised. Jeffrey Simmons and the guys that follow him on that defense will wreck them.
Oh, Jeffrey Simmons might do that without any help.
And that's what's most frustrating, because we get used to certain things, right? Whether it be with your spouse, your kids, your truck, your dog. They do stuff every single time the same, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
And what we've expected here is, even with the history that this organization have as the Steelers, great defense, and as of late, when you get a franchise guy like Seven, good offense. And we haven't seen that, if we're being honest, within like the last 2 years, 3 years. It's been low hanging.
Oh, there's no question about that here. John Gowan's already predicting that Kenny's going to leave with an injury. Let's not do that. Right here.
He is silly.
Hey,
Mahomes a traitor.
The bigger the audience gets, the more of those you have, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, still won't make 400 yards. Oh, yeah, they do. They would need 201 tonight to make 400 in the week. Oh, we're laughing, but we're going to be joking about this afterward here. Who wants to do a let's start with the Hey Moan segment here with Ryan Lytle. Ryan Lytle.
I saw Ryan last night at the Titans team hotel.
That's what
too.
he said here. He was lurking for eBay autographs.
He was lurking.
Yeah. So anyway, here's Ryan Lytle, everybody. He's just going to poke right in.
What's up, Ryan?
Go ahead, Ryan. You got a Hey Moan for him.
I do. Hey Moan, who do you think needs to step up tonight?
Yeah, let's have a Hey Moan like you mean.
Hey Moan!
There we go.
I like the bell, by the way. Who do you think needs to step up for the Steelers tonight to have the biggest impact in this game, considering who they're playing?
On a short week, it's the obvious problem. Well, it's two. I'm always going to cheat when it comes down to answers like this, okay? The offensive coordinator has to have a good night.
Okay, so who's realistic?
I know, but there has to be – you said who's realistic. There has to be rhyme and reason to what he's calling. It just does.
I haven't confirmed this, but I heard from a little bird that he's supposed to be coaching from the sideline tonight.
I did hear that too. I heard that too. But this is also the thing too. The O-line and offensive coordinator. I think we got the skill guys to make it happen. I think we look at what those guys are capable of doing, what their past has said. And more times than not, unless the guy's a head case, whatever you saw in college, you should be able to get in the NFL. And we're seeing a lot of guys not be able to get what they were doing in college. That's a problem. So play calling, O-line has to be in unison tonight. If you get that, you get a dub.
That's a big test for this team, but let's hope so.
Ryan Lytle, everybody.
Look at him with breaking news, too. I'm like, I was in the building last night and getting that type of information. He got it. I did kind of hear that he's going to be on the sideline tonight. And I don't know what it means.
What the hell?
But that's also one of those things where when you start searching for stuff like that, that's when at some point change does happen. You don't do that.
Yeah, well, there also might be change from a personnel standpoint. There might be some fluctuating, some movement.
Don't be surprised is what we will tell you going into it. If you do, just at me and DK or hit DK Pittsburgh Sports online, right?
Yeah.
Boy, fascinating. This is a big one, DK, for a lot of different reasons, not just because of where I work and everything. This is bigger.
A lot of different reasons. You're going to see change tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to see, and it's not for show change. It's change.
It's change. Just know that to be the case.
Yeah. And that because the Steelers, just to explain to people here, were only able to have one practice that was seen by reporters. This was a rare opportunity for Mike Tomlin to hide this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
It was. On a short week, usually the Monday is walkthrough recovery film. The next day
we were only there
practice.
1 day. Yeah, we were there only 1 day, and then Wednesday is always just the walkthrough.
And then it's walkthroughs for the most part, or jog throughs after that. We got gifts coming in and everything.
Hodge came in with 20, AJ with 10. Those are coming in as well. Sergio can't stop with the shoes jokes.
He had them on. I saw DK pulling up to the shop, and he had his shoes on. That was good.
He tried to close the door on
I
my
did.
face.
On his
He saw
own
me
door. I tried to. The stopper wouldn't drop down. I guess it knows who owns it, man. It would not stop.
Frankie wants to know what couple of plays could you see the Steelers running to kickstart this offense? We talk about those 90%, those 95% plays that you want. What are they for this team?
For this team?
Yeah. They don't have any.
That's what I was going to say. You asked me that, DK. You know I don't have that answer. You know I don't have that answer. What you're dealing with still, man, and I say this respectfully because those guys are pros, and I know they want to win. That's the other side of this. Is the players want to win. What could I tell you a bread and butter play? We've had this discussion already, DK. No. So, Frankie, what couple plays could you see? Whatever is going to be successful. If we saw them go down the seam again, and this time, of course, come away with a catch, that's a different conversation to be had. But how rare have we seen them run post routes, DK? Rarely. How many times have we seen them come back to the ball? Rarely. How many times have they layered plays? Hardly ever. So I can't give you what they do. I just can't.
Yeah, it's there's not much there here. Clumsy's predicting that Deontay gets his first touchdown since 2021. Amazing trivia. Last person to throw a touchdown to Deontay Johnson was Ben.
What's Ben? Ben's been retired for how long now?
It's been a while. It's been a while. Who else we got? We got Hamon. Here we go. Here comes another Hamon for us here.
2-7?
Here we go.
Hi,
Your name and everything.
Steve from England.
Oh, he just got here from England. Just for this, by the way.
Just for a couple of games, yeah. Hey, Moan. So
Wait a second. How do they do Hey Moan in England? That wasn't very authoritative.
Hey, Mo.
We are reserved.
Oh. I like it. What you got for me?
All right, but is the O-line really to blame for Najee Harris not making any decent runs?
It goes hand in hand. It's a little bit of him and a little bit of them. You see him running the ball. Sometimes he's running into their backs. You see him also try to get to the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's problematic for both sides. So when we talk about what this offensive scheme is, it legitimately is whatever's going to work for the day.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to work for tonight. That's sad because we're dealing with professionals here. And again, there is a sense of pride that goes along with this game.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just behind the 8-ball. Yeah. That's a great question.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right.
I love hearing the English accent. I do.
Huh?
I love hearing the English accent.
You're familiar with it now. You were just there 2 weeks ago.
I was just in London. You're right about that, man.
Stella
Tight
Fierce.
and reverse.
Stella Fierce comes in with 20. Patrick Flynn says, hey, Moan, if you were the offensive line coach, what would you do to get some holes open? Understanding that the offensive line coach does not and cannot make personnel decisions. Okay? Because they would love to, I'm sure, at times.
They would. What would I do, man? It starts in training camp. It starts with a mentality. And maybe it's this too, Patrick. Maybe it starts with the type. You know when you go get a nice dog and it's like, hey, man, this is great for the family. And then you have a garage, right? A body shop or a mechanic shop, and you want a junkyard dog. You go ask, what's the temperament of this dog? It may be just that, DK. Like we're talking about what can people do for these guys. It really boils down, what are they willing to do for themselves? It's just that simple. I'm more on that, DK.
I hear you.
You know why I'm there now.
I know.
We
now.
can't really say, but you know why I'm there now.
I know why you're there now, and it's a situation that's beginning to expose itself to everybody in public right now.
Yeah.
And as we've been kind of dropping hints here through the show, whether it's Matt Canada going to the sideline tonight, whether it's changes that you're going to see in the offense, significant changes.
Yeah.
Meaningful changes, and we're not talking about schematics here.
No, you'll see. If you're in the stadium, you'll see.
Well, you'll see it right away.
Yeah,
and that tells me, I guess, Moan, that it tells me that the head coach is saying, "Listen, I'm going to try something, and it better work,
and it better work,
and it better work,
and it better work,
because then it's not on me."
And because at the end of the day, DK, if it was me versus you, and I wanted to keep that very cushy head coach job, I'm gonna save myself.
About that.
I'm gonna save myself.
How about that? The whole measure of self-preservation here. Jonah John says, in regards to Kenny Pickett, I think I'd rather see him in a better scheme than try to rebuild. I think he has a talent to be a very good quarterback. Oh, and they're not going to bail on Kenny.
I don't think they bail on Kenny, DK, Well, here's the thing. Let's say if the chants that we hear out loud, right?
Yeah.
Are chants that actually happen after this year, then that means you still got to give him time to develop under a new offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Right. And if that's the case, do you pick up his fifth-year option? You got 2 years left to decide that.
Mhm.
And a lot has to happen. One has to start with his play. The other starts with, okay, what's happening around him also, meaning skill, meaning, the defense still. Can they hold it down? I don't think I've ever seen this team have this many issues, DK. Even with the personal stuff that we've had off the field, arrests, guys making public making stuff in public, it's never been this on the field. It's always been a conversation that if we're talking about the small things, we're not talking about the game.
Yes.
We can't focus on football if we're talking about small item things.
Cody brings a great question here. What does Jaylen Warren have to do to stop? I'm kind of rephrasing Cody's question here, because why does he keep getting fined? Is because the NFL has a policy now about lowering your helmet. But what can he do to avoid that? You saw it was Aaron Donald. For God's sake, what do you want him to do?
It almost is like Aaron Donald should pay that fine for him, because he understands how it feels to be wrongly judged, right? What does he have to do? Keep his head out of it or cut him. It's that simple. Keep his head out of it or cut him. Literally fake high and go low and cut the legs out. That's the only other options he have, because you can tell that's his blocking style.
Yeah,
he's been getting away from it.
Just say, is that what you want? You want us to cut people? Is that what you want?
Exactly. And most defenders will tell you, no, I'd rather him block the way he's blocking than for you to tell him to cut me, because I've seen guys go at Ryan Clark, and it was really like crazy football, right, DK? And he would say, well, I can't hit you in your head or shoulders because I'm going to get fined or suspended.
Yeah,
and it was like, I'd much rather you hit me there than to cut my legs out.
Big Tiny wants to see a thug like David DeCastro again.
Give me that. Give me a goon. Give me a goon. How about that? Give me a goon, okay?
Did David really deserve the thug rep? This is like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And the most civil, like
mild-mannered
and whatever else. And then there's him and Vontez going at it like two rams in a National Geographic documentary.
Yeah. And like it should have been, though. But that's the thing about it, DK. Everybody has a mentality, a type. Dave was a type that was built for this squad here, right?
Yes.
Even if he was quiet and reserved.
Such a Steeler.
You knew Chris Kimoatu was a quiet guy.
Such a Steeler.
How many times did you talk to Chris Kimoatu?
Oh, my God. Never.
Never. But when he went on that field, that quiet guy stuff, shy guy went out the house, went out the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so Steelers. Ryan Lytle contributes 20 gift memberships from across the room. You could have just walked over here.
He just might as well.
He's in the back.
He got enough to throw a friggin' ball at us now, DK. He does.
Yeah, he's just showing off now.
Well, that's just because he's got to show off what a real fan base looks like to his wife.
On a positive note, John Lease, who tends to not be the most upbeat guy in the community, says, I love you, John. If there's a run for 10 yards to start the game, the roar is going to be amazing. I buy that.
I do. And if you see a shot down the field too, maybe a slant. But no, seriously, the run game being able to churn out. And this is always our motto. And I say that because most teams, the reason I keep bringing this stuff up is because most teams have a template, right?
Yeah.
Before Lamar Woodley, there was somebody else in front of him that played the exact same way.
Yes.
Before him, there was somebody else, right? TJ, you have a template for what success looks like for your team. And we have had a template here for what this team is supposed to look like offensively. Have a solid, strong-minded quarterback who's tough as nails. I think Kenny has the tough as nails part down. What happens through his processing of plays, he got to figure that out. You have a running back. You have a style of offensive line.
Yes.
Even in the years you give up sacks, those dudes were fighters. When they were giving up 46 to 52 sacks a year, DK, they were still fighting. How many times have you seen the extra push, nudge, or just mentality behind it? And I'm speaking on this because the templates, DK, or the pieces inside that template might not be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothers me.
Yeah,
and you can tell it does.
There's
too.
a lot.
I'm almost at rage mode right now.
I have noticed a lot of rage mode today, including before the show regarding the state of this offense. And I keep trying to tell you guys within the parameters of what I can do, okay?
Yeah.
That it's not good. Okay? It's not a good situation here.
But
before we get to the only segment that matters, which we've been doing the whole time
anyway.
Yeah, Brian says, with a $9.99 contribution. I feel like this offense would be so much better if it just took advantage of the matchups. Too often they go away from what's working instead of just abusing it until the other team stops them. Case in point, Cincinnati. You knew I was going to bring that up.
Yep.
The Bengals couldn't stop a play that the Steelers were running. Some people on the Pittsburgh Steelers at the time had a wicked sense of humor and decided to run the play like 9 straight times.
We did. Or when you have, and here's the other part of it that bothers me, DK. When you have a wire, 2 of them, and I can give George and Deontay get credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Why are we not force feeding that?
I don't know.
Why
George
does
had 1 catch.
in the second half?
George had 1 catch.
What happened on his catch?
It was a 22-yard touchdown in which he was double covered and broke through both guys. But by all means, don't get him the football.
So, of course, I've actually been lenient on Matt Canada, I feel like. And you've been looking at me the whole time. It's like, moan.
My friends, he's done with the leniency.
I'm cooked.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm cooked.
He's had an experience here. He's had an epiphany.
I have. And when I say sometimes you got to be smart enough to do the right thing. All right, you catch an Uber if you've been drinking too much, right?
Yep.
All right, if you don't run from the police just because there's a speeding ticket, right? It's like little small-minded things. And that's what Brian's saying.
Yeah.
Like, keep going to the Honeywell if it works. Like, I don't care if Deontay and George get 12 targets a game each. If it works, or at least you're trying to figure out if it does, do it. Remember, we had that conversation.
Oh, here's a question just for you on this
What you got
particular
for me?
day. Kane doesn't even know how timely this question is. Why is Mason Cole the only one who sticks up for Kenny? Where's the rest of the line? You have to share this. I'm not letting you off the hook.
I'm gonna bring the mic down just a little bit.
Do it.
Let me move it.
I'm
so
off to the side for this.
I hang around for it was an intimate, so I won't give too much.
Not too much, but enough.
It was a very intimate interaction I had with some of the guys, older guys and young guys.
He's
last
referring
night.
to running into some of the current
Some of
players.
the,
last
fuel
night.
the O line and everything. And I'm sitting there rapping with them. I talked to a bunch of guys last night, and I actually told DK. Well, I left that conversation. I was like, he can hang with us.
Mason Cole.
Mason. I was like, he could have hung with us. And I said that, and
You
I
guys
didn't get
remember the Troy Polamalu line at his Hall of Fame speech induction. The highest praise that he could ever be offered
Is you could play in
by
any
the
era.
Super Steelers of the 70s is you could have been one of us.
Yeah.
You could have played with us.
I left my conversation last night with some of those dudes, and they know I love them. A few of them know me very well, a few of them don't. But I left Mason with the interaction last night. He could have hung with us. Just with the fact that he know how to BS with you, just with the fact that you can tell his attitude and how he approaches the game. He don't really know me, but he was so this with me that you could tell he gets what it means to play it.
He gets it.
So your question, Kane, is so
And
spot
he's struggled.
on.
We have not, by the way,
We hadn't
not
been nice.
covered up for Mason and the struggles that he's had occasionally. But you got to understand, this is a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll say this, not him. Not all of them are.
You know who else too? My our producer here is over there pushing the mic back over. You know who else? And I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear this. Not Dan.
You like Dan more.
It ain't even about me liking him. It really ain't.
Oh, I know what you're saying, though. That's what I meant by like. It's
Yeah.
like in the sports
Dan
sense.
gets it more than y'all think.
Yeah.
And again, I've been telling you, like, his play ain't been perfect, but it ain't bad. I've seen bad O-line play.
At left tackle, it's exposed.
Mason, and I think Dan, with the right direction and focus and push and drive, Kane answers your question. I left saying that he can hang. They can hang.
Don't say you don't learn anything by listening to the Ramon Foster show. Frank says, I really hope the organization is covering Warren's fines. That's not legal.
It's not legal, but
But Mr. 11-year veteran knows that you can occasionally get some help.
yeah, I got a little help. No, I didn't. Is this statute of limitations up? But your question was so telling. That you see that from the field.
That's very impressive,
And-
by the way, on Kane's part.
And Kane brought that up
Because Mason's not having a great year.
no, he's not, but that fight.
He's got the fight. He's the one that's going to go back and pick up your quarterback. We have anybody else for a Hey Moan?
Man,
Anybody
that's
else?
so telling.
We got a Hey Moan out of anybody back
Kane,
here?
were you in here, Kane? Listen to the
Do Hey
DKs
Moan?
in my conversation, because
Okay.
I told DK that in a random conversation that we was having, like, he can hang.
Just a half hour ago.
And I
yeah.
had to give credit to the other young fellow too, Dan Moore, because I look at him and say they can hang.
That's pretty high praise. Ethan Smith comes in with a contribution that says you could argue that the Steelers have more issues at 4-3 right now than they did last season at 2-6. I'd make that argument.
I make that argument too. That defense is what's thriving.
Yeah, the main issue at 2-6 was the TJ injury. Now it's tons more. Yeah, and TJ's the one that's got the team at 4-3, respectfully.
And a little bit more depth also.
Yep.
Whenever he goes out, there's still some guys that can get the job done also.
Yeah, Nick Herbig, Marcus Golden have gotten the job done.
Yep.
And let's not leave out my pack of inside linebackers. That would be Quan Alexander,
three.
Cole
Yeah.
Holcomb, and Elandon Roberts. They have done the job. They're getting better and better each week, as they will be happy to tell you.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they will. But that's been my sentiment, because you guys know I work for the Titans too on the radio, and that's been my sentiment to them is, all right, if you want to get 22 Derrick Henry going, then somebody better block those middle three. And that's no inside or anything. That's just telling the truth.
Exactly. Wrongism comes in with probably the best question we're going to get today, even better than Kane's. Hey, Moan, does the Titans' offensive line hold up against TJ and the defense? You expressed to me, and this isn't exactly some sort of trade secret, that the Titans have some issues at tackles,
Yeah.
plural.
Yeah.
That means they've got to deal with both TJ and Alex coming at them, as well as whatever else the Steelers bring. I've said this all week. If I'm Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin,
Yeah.
I got a rookie quarterback back there. I'm not overthinking stuff, man.
You can't. No, you got to get
Okay?
after them.
You got to pin the ears back.
You do.
But can they handle it?
Yes. How does the Titans offensive line hold up to it? It's play by play. It is. And you understand that what the monster of TJ Watt is. And here's the thing. I get off the elevator to go into the team dinner room last night, and I walked past Alex Highsmith. He's tall. He's 6'5".
He's bigger than people know.
No, he is.
They think he's stocky,
You-
just because he's wide, but
He's
he's
like,
also tall.
You know what he reminds me of? He's a linebacker version of Stephon Tuitt. The way Tuitt was
That's
built.
actually really good. Yeah.
He's a linebacker version of Stephon Tuitt.
That's really good.
But he's an outside linebacker.
But he can move.
Yeah, he can move. Yeah, it's weird.
That was why the Steelers drafted him as a raw player out of a small school in Charlotte, and understanding that we're just going to make something out of this.
Yeah, no.
Here's some clay.
I'm telling you,
You know?
man. I'm seeing a question come up too from Gene. As DK is not on the same stream, I'll read it out to you. He goes, "Hey, Mom, did you see Larry Ogunjobi's explanation of what happened with the Mason Rudolph incident against the Browns? I didn't, and I don't care."
No.
First thing I said to him was, "Welcome to the dark side, my brother." And I actually sat next to him with the D-line and those guys last night, and they had a very interesting non-football conversation. But here's the difference, though, too. When you got guys that are comfortable in their
I
profession,
bet it was so different.
you can talk life
yes.
and just BS, and it's so deep. Oh, mind you, too, here's the group. You ready for this group? Larry O to my left, me, Cam, Minka, I think Fahoko, TJ, and Keanu been soaking it all up.
And they're all playing well, and they're all feeling it, so they can talk about things that aren't football while everybody else is going.
That was such a good group, man. I love that, man. Woo!
Oh no!
Interesting, DK.
Jeff says anything but a jet sweep will elicit cheers.
Will we hear boo if we hear the Jets? If we see a jet sweep?
Not on the first snap. Not on the first snap. I'll tell you what, though, him down on the sideline,
Yeah.
he's in earshot. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
he
what the head
is.
coach wants.
Man, who knows, man? I see a question coming up too from Nick Walko. It's all the way down, DK. DK is
okay.
scrolling way behind because there's so many good comments.
They're
too.
coming in so fast, I can't keep up.
He asked a question. Hey, Mon, who surprised you the most when you met with the team? Pat Frymuth. He walked up. I hadn't played with Pat. I follow him on social media.
He's a guy.
He came up to me, dapped me up, threw his arms around. I was like, man, don't let me hit them ribs, man. You be cool, okay? So it was cool with him just because.
Let me guess. He had absolutely nothing to say about that.
No, he didn't.
That's what he does with me too. I'll make a joke about the ribs, and he's
Yeah.
like, No, man, that's not funny.
It was good being embraced because he's one of those types to me too. I know people gonna always say, "Well, you got to stay on the field." If it's a football injury, I can deal with. That one, the rib thing, that's a real live injury right there, DK.
Oh, good stuff here. John is encouraging people to stop at the shop. We had a bunch of people asking me yesterday, like, what is this thing? Because,
shop?
well, here, like, because yesterday I did this by myself when you were traveling.
I saw that. Were you cheating on me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
At least he told me.
Yeah. So after the fact, which is not great cheating, right? But they saw the whole shop. And they're like, where is this thing? It's at 224 Fifth Avenue downtown.
It is. It's right here on your way to the stadium. What I picked up today is this.
Oh, he got something here too. Look at this.
I got a Hinesfield lighter just because it's Hinesfield. That's no longer that, at least in name. Right, DK?
Yeah.
So I had to get that. There's all kind of stuff in here that you could pick up. There was somebody here earlier that had to have this sweatshirt. He bought, and Dolly tried to dog him for it, okay? He bought a ladies sweatshirt, and I encouraged him to buy it because I was like, it's sweet. And when you're done with it, just pass it off to your girl. She's going to take it anyway.
He wasn't with you?
No.
He walked in with you, so I'm like going introducing myself.
He-
I probably look like an idiot.
No, he wasn't with me, Dolly. You think I'm just picking up random strangers off the road? Oh, my God. He not a stranger because he had on Steelers gear, but
Well, I thought he was your friend.
Man.
Funny, and now he's just some dude who came to the store and I made fun of him the whole time.
yeah, you what? He had a good time. He had a good time.
Cam is playing tonight, guys. You don't activate Cam and then have Cam make an announcement on social media and then say that he's not playing.
He's such a goofball too.
What do
I'm
you
going
mean?
in because there's so many people I don't know in the room and stuff. Hey, Ramon Foster. Hey, Ramon Foster. He puts his fork down. It's like, hey, Cameron Hayward, nice to meet you. I'm like, go play ball, dog. He is such a goof, man.
I can totally.
You see that happening, don't you? Yeah, you do.
I love it.
You see that happening, DK.
We have to share some amazing contributions here.
Wow.
Ronaldo comes in with a $49.99 super sticker. That's awesome. Adventures in the Dark comes in with a contribution. Says, I love Presley Harvin, but two shank punts. Moan loves Presley Harvin. We're going to save this for another show someday.
Hey,
okay.
Presley is, I feel you, Adventures in the Dark. Presley legit. And he gave me a little logic behind your conversation right there, too. Just know that.
Yes. Jay Freeman comes in with a $50 show of appreciation. That's absolutely awesome. Rarity Unlimited with a contribution says, guys, I love the Steelers with my whole entire body. We have too much talent for the team to be looking like this. I would not dispute that.
No, you're not wrong, Rarity. Like you're not wrong, and that's why I'm telling you, it's frustrating because sometimes you just got to feed the ones that can make plays for you, and it's not happening.
Alex Marvin Fabrizius says, hey, Moan, finally made it to a live show again. It's 9 p.m. in Germany here. One question, what's your opinion on Isaac Seumalo, the guy who's playing your old position?
Yeah, he struggled the last couple of weeks.
You want to see more?
I want to see more.
He has more.
The stuff that you heard about Isaac is true. He can play. It's a matter of whatever the issues have been the last couple of weeks. We've seen good from him. I've seen him bully people in Philly. And maybe it's this, DK. Maybe he can't catch a groove because the plays aren't going the way they should flow.
Then there's that. Cat Manada asked a question about Matt Canada about being on the sideline, but I've got one back for Cat Manada because you're supposed to be here.
Yeah, you were.
You're supposed to be here, so you can use your contribution there, put it toward the Uber ride that gets you over here.
Come on, Cat Manada. But I bet he's gonna be yelling fire the dude that his name is after.
It's not okay. The PEF wants to know what did it feel like playing on Thursdays?
Man, I always look past that day because I just needed to get to the weekend. Get me to the weekend. We go out and handle business and play a solid game. Get me to the weekend. As a young guy, you bounce back fast. But as soon as the game kicks off, nothing really matters. It doesn't.
We've got two more here today. KO says, hey, Moan, how did it feel coming out of the tunnels, especially when the offense was introduced? Number 73.
Awesome. You know why? I wanted to start for that reason. Because I know I didn't have many stats that was going to come with the position I play. I needed to hear my name through the tunnels.
There it is.
You're going to notice me somehow. I did.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all he really wanted.
Do you blame me, DK? There's nothing better. And also coming through the tunnels into the city last night, There's no better skyline.
He's trying to make me melt here.
I am. I'm about to take one of these pictures.
But there
too.
isn't
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
But there isn't
Come on
one.
through. Come on in.
And,
What's going on? Oh, you got to get on camera. What are you doing? Get
Yeah,
in
right
there.
here. Come on, slide
Come
right
on
in here.
in here.
You can just kind of lean over. All right,
Yes.
right
What's
into the
your
microphone.
question?
So,
Introduce yourself here.
so I'm Matthew. I'm from the UK.
From the UK.
Get married this weekend. I've got family coming in to visit.
Congratulations,
All
man.
right.
My question to you, Ramon, is
Is this your honeymoon to come see Moan?
yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I mean, how could you not? How could you not?
Yeah, see, love is in the air.
We have mics.
So my question for you, Ramon, is how many players are sort of open with the teams they supported when they were growing up? Because I've always been like, why doesn't does TJ Watt support the Packers because he grew up in Wisconsin? He has to sort of hide it like for next week, for
That's a
instance.
good question.
That's
How-
a
how open are
great
they-
question.
Because it's not like you didn't support anyone; you just sort of acclimatized to the team.
Because you're picked to go to a team. Yeah, that's right.
exactly.
You don't have
I'm
a
just curious
choice.
How open they are.
Some are, I would say on a scale of 1 to 100, about 25%, especially, and I say that because you don't play teams that you're fans of often. So if I'm a fan of a team, man, I used to love this team growing up. You'll say it in those moments, but not loud. I think who was Antonio Pierce said he was a Raiders fan, but he played for the Giants.
Aaron Donald just said 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Donald is as Pittsburgh as it gets.
Yeah.
And he said, when we're not playing them, I'm a Steelers,
Steelers
fan.
It happens often, but it's not announced unless you're playing them or they know you're from there. Marquise, big time Tampa Bay fan. Big time Tampa Bay fan when he was growing up, because to your point, you are fans of where you're from for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that happens often, but it's never loud, though. Yeah, that is a great. We've never been asked that, DK.
No, that's a good question.
Thank you for that question.
All right.
Real good.
We're gonna sneak. We're gonna sneak Javon's in. He asks, would a hard snap? It seems like the opponent's defensive line is teeing off at the snap. Would a hard snap count help with this?
I always got to say this. It shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
It should not matter. Is there an edge to it in 3rd and long? Yeah, or 3rd and 6. Yeah, there's an edge to it, but it shouldn't matter because more times than not, you feel the cadence of when they're going to say set Hutton is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
shouldn't matter.
Adventures in the Dark wants to know if there's a place that Nick Herbig might be moved so that he doesn't waste away as a rusher. That's tough to do.
No, you don't, because who are you going to take off the field? It's the only question. He can't play middle linebacker.
Yeah.
That's the only place
that
I would
one's
put
tough.
him, but he can't.
And our last question comes with a $50 contribution from
Wowzers.
Cody, who says, I appreciate both of you always putting on the best sports show ever. Perfect blend of humor, insight, knowledge, answering people's questions. There's no question here. Truly a special show. It just took me halfway to get through this here.
Yeah.
With the return of number 73 and you guys being together, dinner is on me, says Cody.
Thank you.
How about that?
Thank you,
Go to
DK.
Velazzi's next door and have some Italian.
I saw that, man. There's been a couple more come in still, DK.
You're still looking.
Damon has one on the other side
I
right
see
there.
it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Thank
Here
you
it
for
is.
the dinner.
You guys are not going to let Moan go over there, are
Oh,
you?
it's
He's got to
crazy.
go. Damon says, spiking that ball. Oh, this guy spiking the football.
He said,
Almost every time AB scored, how hard will it be to keep your emotions in check during the game? What went into AB giving you the ball?
because we all became stars. That's what came into
This
that.
is actually true.
We all became stars. Our O-line had a name. The wide receivers were an item. The offense was freaking phenomenal. And everybody played a part in the celebrations. AB was with us, the O-line, more than almost anybody else. So me running up to AB was genuine excitement and happy for
You say,
AB.
give me the ball?
No, I was just one
You just
hands
there.
out, like hands out, and he handed it to me, and he loved it. So
Yeah, he
anytime we would
He
do
actually
it,
did.
but I always made sure it wasn't a milestone ball. I always made sure he had
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So AB was just one of us, and he passed the ball off because that's what you're gonna do. And DK, that's what it was. We all became stars. So that was a part of it too.
That's really cool.
And
Final 2 words of this show go to who else?
your favorite barber, man. You see him a little tight right now, man. And he goes, "Hey, Mo." That's all.
That's all he's got. So we're gonna sign off here for the day. And
This was fun.
yeah. This is the dirtiest shades. He's taking the bell, by the way,
It's
everybody.
going home.
Somebody suggested that because you're so lousy at ringing the bell, that you should have a gong instead. It's like, you think they'll let you get gong through pre-check?
Hey, don't make me go online and search for a gong, okay?
Like,
I'll have one by Monday.
the TSA people at Pittsburgh International are going to be like, I'm sorry, sir. What are you doing? And you're going to be like, they told me I had to have a gong.
Hey, next time y'all see me, I'm probably going to have a gong, okay? I'm an impulse buyer for little small things like that. I mess around and get a gong, man, for real.
All right, guys, he's out of here. He's got to head
Gotta
over and
go
do
get
some work. I got to go
ready.
do some work as well.
Yeah.
Over there.
This is fun. And you want to show them how tall you are? No, we took pictures.
Hey, yeah, no. This is even better here. I'm
Let's go
tired
show
of
him
this
how
whole,
tall.
oh, my God, you're so taller than I thought you were.
He's actually tall. Try us.
Look
if
at
you want
that.
to.
Look at that. Let's get everybody in.
Y'all
Let's
come
get
in.
everybody in at the end of the show. All these people watching the show kind of hanging on the fringes. Come on in here, people. Let's get everybody in front. Come on. Everybody in front.
We're in here today.
Here we go. All these people. We're going to say, we're going to sign off on the show here for everybody. I don't know when we're doing the next one. You got to travel back tomorrow.
I do got to travel back. I'll be back home.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'll
then
be
we're
back
going to
home
do another
tonight.
show tomorrow, but probably not with as many people. So.
See you, people.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Mo. That was good, man.